Hello, soul family. Welcome to Spiritual Manifestation. If this is your first time here, a warm welcome to you. And if you're returning, welcome home. You know you belong here. Today, I felt so inspired while reflecting on the shifts happening collectively. It's like the energy is aligning perfectly for breakthroughs, and I couldn't shake the feeling that this message is meant to find you. Let's get started. All right, I'm going to draw from the Starseed Oracle card deck to tap into how your person is currently feeling, how they're perceiving you and this connection, and to uncover any other significant messages they have for you right now. Let's dive in and see what their heart space wants to reveal. The first card we have here is the Void. This card brings a profound and heavy energy to the forefront. Divine Feminine, there is a masculine in your energy field who has unknowingly placed you into a box, into a compartment within their mind that even they may not fully understand. This energy connects deeply to the subconscious mind, where raw and unfiltered truths reside. It's as though this card is tapping into the hidden realms of their thought process, revealing how they truly feel about you in ways they may not consciously admit. The subconscious is incredibly honest, sometimes even brutally so, reflecting the patterns and programming that shape their actions and interactions, often without them even realizing why. This card highlights the unseen aspects of their perception of you and this connection. When it comes to how this masculine is showing up in your connection, everything seems to revolve around where they've mentally placed you in their life. With the energy of the Void, it's clear they've assigned you to a very specific category, and there's a distinct reason for it, even if they aren't fully conscious of why. It's as though this masculine has an innate ability to compartmentalize everyone and everything around them. But when it comes to relationships, this pattern shifts and manifests in how much of themselves they're willing or able to share in a connection. What's fascinating here is that this energy isn't necessarily about you, Divine Feminine, but because you are such a significant presence in their life, it's absolutely having an impact on you. Whether you realize it or not, this masculine is grappling with a deep sense of feeling misunderstood, even though you've likely done nothing to warrant this perception. Alongside this, I'm picking up strongly on the word censored. This energy is showing up in your dynamic as them holding back, particularly when it comes to expressing their emotions. It's almost as if they're tailoring their words or actions to fit what they think you want, rather than revealing their authentic feelings. Okay, this is also interesting. I'm hearing that when you ask this masculine how they feel, they may offer you answers that they think you want to hear, rather than expressing their true emotions in the moment. It's not necessarily because they want to hide their feelings. It feels more like a deeply ingrained learned behavior that they can't entirely control. This isn't something they consciously choose. It's a pattern embedded into their way of being. While this dynamic isn't exclusive to your connection, there's something about your energy or recent events between you that has amplified this behavior. It's as if this connection is triggering their subconscious programming, bringing their deeply rooted patterns to the surface. What's especially significant here is that they are completely unaware of how much they're doing this. For some of you, you might already sense something is off. You've noticed subtle shifts in how they interact with you, particularly when it comes to emotional openness. For others, this dynamic may feel entirely hidden, leaving you questioning if they're capable of breaking out of this pattern or if they even recognize the need for change. This subconscious repetition creates a cycle that keeps them stuck in familiar habits, and your connection seems to be shining a light on this, whether they realize it or not. This energy is deeply tied to projection, divine feminine. Even though it's likely unconscious, this masculine is projecting their internal programming onto you in a way that's shaping how they engage with this connection. This projection creates a significant blockage, preventing the natural progression of your bond. What's interesting is that even though they may not have any real reason to feel this way about you, they've convinced themselves that you either don't understand them, wouldn't understand them, or lack the capacity to truly see them for who they are. Right now, this masculine is navigating a phase where feeling misunderstood has become their dominant experience in this connection. Okay. Wow. The next card coming through is the Great Severing. This energy feels intense and raw, divine feminine, highlighting the friction within your connection. This card speaks of anger and emotional triggers, but also of potential healing and deep transformation. It's as if this masculine is viewing you through a distorted lens right now, and I'm also hearing the words, "You aren't perfect either." This reveals a mix of projection and defensiveness coming from their energy. When you first aligned with this masculine, they likely saw you as someone incredibly open, perhaps even idealized you in some way. But something has shifted. Now there's a trigger, an emotional edge, that's causing them to feel the need to hold back or even censor themselves around you. This wasn't always the case, though, which makes this shift all the more significant. Whatever you've been doing or embodying recently has stirred something deep within them, creating a focused, almost isolating energy in their mind. I'm getting that this shift stems from a recent event or interaction, something subtle yet powerful that has pushed them into a more performative role. It's almost as if they feel the need to carefully manage how they present themselves to you, and this ties into their own insecurities and fears of being judged. While this may seem like it's all about you, it's truly more about what you reflect back to them, a mirror to their own inner world. This energy is asking them to confront not only how they see you, but also how they see themselves in this connection. This dynamic seems to be unfolding as a direct response to how you've been engaging with this masculine, divine feminine. What's striking is that this energy feels subtle, happening in the small, unspoken moments, during conversations, brief exchanges, or simply in your presence. In the past, your masculine likely felt raw and open with you, able to express themselves freely without reservation. But recently, there's been a noticeable shift, and it's catching them off guard. Now they seem hesitant, almost reluctant, to go as deep in conversations or to share personal details. This isn't necessarily about anything you've said or done intentionally. It's more about how your energy is coming across to them. I'm getting that this shift is triggering them to make direct judgments about you, or, more accurately, their perception of how you're viewing them. They may feel as though you're silently critiquing them or forming assumptions based on what they choose to share. Whether it's the topics they discuss or how they express themselves emotionally. This is a layered energy. On one hand, this masculine feels a sense of defensiveness, as if they want to tell you they feel judged or misunderstood. On the other, there's a realization on their part that they've been holding you to an unrealistic standard, almost idealizing you in the past. What makes this even more complex is that this masculine is naturally guarded, someone who doesn't easily let others in, yet they made an exception for you. Things once felt smooth and natural, but now there's this lingering tension. They've gone from viewing you as a safe space to someone they feel the need to censor themselves around, and it's creating a disconnect they may not fully understand. Now, Divine Feminine, I'm not sure what kind of life you lead, but it's clear that your person has some very strong opinions about you right now. When they first connected with you, they placed you on a pedestal, seeing you as someone almost larger than life. But now, there's this underlying sense of regret, as if they're questioning whether they should have done that in the first place. Because they've been holding all of this inside instead of expressing it directly, their actions might be hinting that something feels off or that there's been a shift. The confusing part is that you may not have any idea why this is happening. If you were to ask them, I'm getting that they'd likely point to something subtle in your energy or maybe something you said or did that doesn't align with how they perceive themselves or their views. It's almost as if they're seeing a disconnect between the person they imagined you to be and the reality they're now experiencing, leaving them unsure of how to move forward. Now, the next card coming through here is Weight of the World. This card speaks to the burden of emotions and the difficulty of releasing what no longer serves, and it aligns deeply with the energy your masculine is carrying right now. Divine Feminine. This is someone who moves through life in cycles, and this cyclical energy is weighing heavily on their heart. Even though they're holding back from you, likely without fully realizing it, there's still a part of them that keeps reaching for your energy, almost like they can't help but be drawn to you. You might have already noticed something off in their behavior when you're around them or when you speak. It's that subtle tension, like they're holding on to words they want to say, but can't bring themselves to fully express. They may even test the waters during conversations, bringing up certain topics just to gauge where you stand or how you're feeling. This energy feels restless and, honestly, a bit edgy, like they're trying to figure out if your feelings toward them have shifted in some way. But here's the thing, this isn't just about you. Right now, they're projecting a lot onto you, carrying their own insecurities and unresolved emotions into your connection. And this projection doesn't feel subtle, it's deeply embedded in their energy. And if you're sensitive to these shifts, you're likely feeling it too. It's almost as though they're caught in a loop, unable to fully let go, yet unsure how to step forward. They may not even realize what they're doing, but this energy feels incredibly heavy, divine feminine. If you're someone who is sensitive to energy, you've likely picked up on the subtle shifts in their aura. It's off, but the reasons behind it may not yet be clear. This masculine carries an intensely guarded energy, and whether they're aware of it or not, they've brought a lot of emotional weight into this connection. This heaviness feels deeply rooted in their past. The way this energy is presenting itself suggests that they've become indifferent, almost detached. It's as though they enter connections with preconceived ideas about how things will unfold, how they'll act, how you'll respond, and how the entire dynamic will play out. This mindset doesn't leave much room for spontaneity or openness. What's even more striking is that this feels like a decision they made long ago, likely as a protective measure. At some point, they told themselves it wasn't worth giving 100% anymore, and they've been carrying that belief into every connection since. It's not personal, but it's certainly affecting how they show up for you now. This energy speaks volumes about their fear of vulnerability and their need to shield themselves from potential hurt. Now, I just want to also say, Divine Feminine, this energy feels deeply conflicted, and the way it's coming through, it seems like this masculine may have a valid reason for the way they are acting, at least from their perspective. They're clearly seeking love, yearning for connection, but this unconscious block rooted in their past is creating a barrier they may not even realize they're reinforcing. Without meaning to, they're actively pushing away the very thing they desire most. This could be showing up in subtle ways, like them talking themselves out of their happiness, or engaging in behaviors that unintentionally repel your energy. And all of this is operating on an unconscious level, making it even harder for them to break free from this cycle. From a spiritual lens, this feels like subconscious programming, patterns shaped by a person, a place, or an event in their past. Even though they don't consciously align with that reality anymore, these unresolved experiences are still influencing their actions, causing them to recreate similar dynamics. It's not that they don't want to trust, it's that they've been conditioned to not know how to trust, even when there's no reason to feel unsafe. Unfortunately, it feels like this programming has spilled into your connection, placing you in a box you don't belong in. Despite the fact that you've given them no reason to hold back, they've unconsciously categorized this connection in the same way they've handled relationships in the past. It's not about your actions or your energy. It's about what they haven't yet healed within themselves. Now, funny enough, the next card coming forward from the Starseed Oracle is Forge, Don't Follow. This speaks to carving out new paths, breaking cycles, and stepping into one's authentic truth. Divine Feminine, this energy is profoundly connected to your masculine. I'm really hearing the words, "You have exposed my darkness." This connection has brought parts of them to the surface they've long tried to suppress. If you truly knew the depth of what they're carrying, it might even shock you. What's unfolding here is the revelation of two sides of your masculine, the person they believe themselves to be, and the deeper, hidden version of who they truly are. This card reveals a powerful truth. While your person may consciously enter connections based on what they think they want, it's their subconscious that always seeks out what they need. And that subconscious pull is tied to their deeply ingrained programming, how they've been taught to view love, relationships, and feminine energy. These patterns were formed long before they met you, but because you are the object of their desire, you are now feeling the weight of this energy. Whether this manifests physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, their internal struggles are spilling into the connection, affecting you in ways you may not fully understand. No matter how much they try to convince themselves of what they want, their subconscious continuously draws them toward the kind of energy that challenges and transforms them. And this is where you come in, Divine Feminine. You reflect back to them their unhealed parts, the pieces they've hidden from others, and perhaps even from themselves. This card is shining a light on the truth that we all carry a unique energy signature in love, divine feminine. Whether it's high vibrational, low vibrational, or somewhere in between, it's not something we consciously lead with. Instead, it reveals itself over time, through patterns, through responses, and through how we show up for the people we choose to love. In your case, this is about your light and the profound impact it has on your masculine. Your energy touches them differently than anyone else in their life. Romantic connections have a way of exposing parts of a person that they've managed to keep hidden from the rest of the world. And with you, divine feminine, this masculine feels like their truest self is on full display, stripped of any mask they might usually wear. But here's the deeper truth. There's a shadow side to everyone, two sides that exist within every soul. The difference in your connection is that when you speak to this masculine, you're not just connecting with the version they show to others. You're engaging both their light and their dark, their highest self and their hidden wounds. Others may only scratch the surface of who they are, but you see it all. Even if they never admit this, they know that you see them completely, and that realization both draws them to you and terrifies them at the same time. But your interactions with this masculine are what keep drawing them back to you, divine feminine, no matter how raw or unfiltered your conversations or energy might be. Whether you are the type to communicate openly and directly, or if you take a more subtle, quiet approach, your energy speaks volumes. Your body language, your presence, it all tells them, I see you. You know I see you, clearly and completely. And that's the part they're still trying to figure out. How can you pick up on the things they never intended to show? The truth is, this dynamic was set in motion from the very beginning. Even when they thought they were hiding, they were already leading with their most vulnerable energy. This connection is about attracting a specific energy signature, one that resonates deeply with the divine masculine's need to be seen for who they truly are. While they might believe they align with you because of shared interests, similarities, or even the natural flow of your connection, the reality goes deeper. On a soul level, this masculine has always had a longing to be fully seen, light, shadow, and everything in between. But here's the twist. That same desire is intertwined with fear. This creates a push and pull dynamic where they run to you for the comfort of being seen, but then pull away because of the vulnerability that comes with it. This could stem from past wounds or simply be a part of themselves they've come to accept over time. Yet, in this connection, they find themselves wondering, can you handle all of me? Can you see me without judgment? This is where the energy from the card earlier comes into play. They entered this connection placing you high on a pedestal, seeing you as someone untouchable, someone flawless. Now, as they pull back those layers and show you their truth, they're grappling with whether you can truly embrace it all, just as they're learning to embrace it themselves. Now again, divine feminine, I don't know how you present yourself, whether it's the knowledge you carry, the life experience you hold, or the energy you naturally exude. But the way you've shown up in this connection has caused this masculine to place you high on a pedestal. At first, this admiration felt effortless, but as they've started peeling back the layers of who they truly are, it's triggered a shift. The more they uncover within themselves, the more they've begun projecting their own insecurities onto you. Let's be clear, when we speak of darkness, it doesn't mean something bad. Darkness is simply what's hidden, parts of ourselves we may not deem socially acceptable, but that doesn't make them any less real or valid. And the truth is, the more this energy is suppressed, the louder it becomes, demanding to be acknowledged. For this masculine, this is a process of bringing those hidden aspects to the surface, sometimes in moments of confidence, and sometimes through casual conversation. Either way, these interactions are meant to give them a closer look at your heart space, how you see life, love, and them. Being near you has this undeniable effect on them. It's as though your presence compels them to see themselves more clearly, and that's one of the deeper purposes of this connection. You're here to witness their truth, all of it, and to love them anyway. In doing so, you're not only offering them healing, but also reflecting back to yourself the same love and acceptance. After all, your masculine is a mirror of who you are. There's likely a resonance between your past experiences or even the type of energy patterns you both call into your auric fields. This connection isn't just about them. It's also about helping you discover deeper layers of yourself and the unconditional love you're capable of offering to them and to yourself. Okay, what else can I channel from this situation here? Okay, I see. The card coming forward is Fall into My Arms. This card speaks of surrender, deep love, and the vulnerability that comes with being truly seen. Divine Feminine, this masculine is navigating an unfamiliar journey when it comes to loving you. Someone significant from their past influenced the way they approach connections, shaping their guardedness long before they met you. But your presence has begun to shift all of that. Your energy has awakened something deep within them. They're either falling in love with you or already there. But this road to love feels different, almost unsettling. What stands out is the way you approach them. Your natural curiosity and openness weren't something they were used to. You didn't simply stay on the surface. You asked the questions that made them reflect, inviting them to lower their walls. This level of openness is both magnetic and terrifying for them, as it challenges everything they've been used to in relationships. Right now, they're experiencing an internal struggle, grappling with the vulnerability your connection demands. This masculine doesn't truly have a reason to test you, play games, or bring up random topics just to see how you'll respond, but they do it anyway. For them, it's not about doubting you. It's about a deep-rooted fear that no one can be fully trusted. Their actions might seem unnecessary or even confusing to the average person, but for them, it's a way of protecting themselves. It's important to understand that they weren't always this way. Something happened in their past that led them to close off emotionally, and it likely has nothing to do with you. The fact that this energy is surfacing in your connection is significant. It shows that you were placed on their path for a reason. You're not just another connection for them. You're the one who has come to awaken them, to shake them out of the numbness they've been living in for so long. Your presence is stirring emotions they didn't think they were capable of feeling anymore, to the point where they may even be questioning if they've ever truly been in love before. The depth of emotion you bring out in them is unlike anything they've experienced in the past. This is someone who entered relationships with a closed heart, unable to go deep or form genuine bonds because of their subconscious programming. This isn't personal, divine feminine. It's the result of their own unhealed patterns. However, your connection is different. It's triggering them in ways they never anticipated because you're here to challenge that programming. You're here to push them to feel, to grow, and to confront the walls they've built around their heart. This stage of your connection may be uncomfortable for them, but it's also the catalyst for their transformation. Also, I'm hearing that you might be the very first person to truly question them, divine feminine. Specifically, I'm hearing the word why. You're likely the first to ask them why they think or feel the way they do, why they hold certain beliefs or react the way they do to their past experiences. When they open up to you, your curiosity and the way you challenge them intellectually pushes them to think about themselves on a much deeper level. And what's clear is that they're not used to this kind of engagement at all. Your approach, the way you engage them with genuine interest, doesn't come across as judgmental, though they might initially misinterpret it that way. It's not about criticism, it's about understanding. You're not just trying to hear what they say, you're trying to truly understand how they think, how they move through the world as a masculine energy and as a soul. This kind of questioning has likely brought things to light for them that they've never been asked or even considered before. Curiosity is such a subtle yet profound force, especially in relationships. It's not invasive, but it has the power to gently unpack the layers of someone's mind, revealing truths they might not have faced on their own. In your connection, this curiosity serves as a mirror, encouraging them to reflect on themselves in ways they've never done before, and that is both transformative and deeply unsettling for them. All right, it's getting late, so I'm going to draw one last card here to close this out. The final message coming through is the Cosmic Heart. This card speaks of devotion, soul alignment, and the power of true connection. Divine feminine, this energy feels deeply tied to your essence in this connection. With this last message, I'm picking up on your energy and, more importantly, your reason why. From the very beginning, you saw through the mask. You saw the truth about your masculine, the real them that most people never get to see. And maybe you can't fully explain how you knew, but deep down, you trusted what you felt. This clarity shaped the way you approached the connection, guiding you to act or say things you've never done before. It's almost as if something greater was orchestrating it all, nudging you to respond in ways that felt divinely inspired. This connection hasn't followed a linear path. It likely doesn't even make sense when you try to piece it all together logically. But what's clear is that you've both been placed in each other's lives for a higher purpose. Your presence challenges them, just as theirs challenges you. The depth of emotions between you two is undeniable. It's been there from the very start, even if neither of you could fully make sense of it at the time. The more you allow yourself to surrender to this flow, the more the truth of your connection reveals itself. Your light, divine feminine, is far more powerful than you realize. It has illuminated hidden aspects of your masculine subconscious, the wounds and programming they've been carrying for so long. These buried emotions have shaped how they've shown up in this connection, but being around you brings their true self closer to the surface. They feel drawn to you for a reason. In your presence, they sense change, transformation, and a chance to be something more. Your energy doesn't just challenge them, it awakens them. It's in your company that they feel the most alive, the most real, and the most ready for something new. If you're in contact with this masculine, divine feminine, keep doing exactly what you're doing. The way you challenge them, whether through your energy, your words, or your presence, is something they can't resist. It's not just an attractive quality, it's essential for their growth. You hold a unique position in their life, one that allows you to get closer to them than anyone else ever could. And what you choose to do with this influence speaks volumes about who you are on a soul level. If you're at a distance from your person right now, they may need you to hold space for them as they navigate these intense shifts. They're likely more sensitive to your energy and opinions than they let on, even if you've never given them a reason to feel this way. Right now, your masculine is undergoing a deep process of integration, coming to terms with the full spectrum of who they are, both their light and their shadow. This journey isn't easy for them, but you play an incredibly significant role in it, whether you realize it or not. Your presence and connection have set this transformation into motion. It's through your influence that they're beginning to uncover and embrace the truth of who they are on every level. This isn't just about them. It's about the profound impact you are destined to have in their life. All right, this feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. Divine Feminine, the energy coming through today is both powerful and transformative. Trust in the role you're playing, whether you're near or at a distance, and know that everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. Thank you for allowing me to tap into this energy with you, and I'll see you in the next reading.